All right. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes to share a couple lessons that I've learned over the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 days. And I think they're going to be super helpful to you if you are starting a YouTube channel or if you're just looking to start something online, get your name out there. And build in public, right? So first of all, it all started with me having an epiphany that I'm not necessarily building my YouTube channel in the most advantageous way possible. And what do I mean by that? So some of the strategies that I've been using on this channel are a little bit outdated. And I'm still going to keep doing this YouTube channel. Doesn't mean I'm going to bail on it, but I need to be more specific about the exact audience that I want to reach so that I can maximize the amount of revenue that I can make. I'm not going to go into every little detail of that right now. I'm sure I'm going to share it eventually on this channel, but here, let me jump over to LinkedIn because this is where I posted my epiphany. And that's also going to tell us, it's also going to lead into point number 2 that I have for it, or lesson number 2. So last week on LinkedIn, I just went on there and I was like, you know what? I'm not being 100% clear with who I'm talking to on YouTube. Now, yes, I'm talking to Gen Xers. Yes, I'm talking to people that are looking to reinvent their careers. Maybe look for something that's, long term, building a business online, building a personal brand, all that kind of stuff. But I think I need to be even more strategic and even more laser focused on who it is I'm targeting. Now, on here, I mentioned, I really want to be talking to Gen X creators and business builders, but that's even gotten even more fine tuned over the last week or so. And again, I'm not going to go into all that. Maybe I will down the line. But the key point here is that like the old days of doing YouTube, or the old ways of doing YouTube, like where right now you've probably noticed if you've been following me for a while that like I have these really long podcasts on there, like hour long, Gen X Unplugged, where I'm doing interviews and talking with, like Mike and some other guests that I've had on there, which is great. But then I'm kind of confusing the YouTube algorithms a little bit, and probably the audience. There's probably some of you out there that are probably confused too. You're like, oh, wait, 1 minute you're telling me to watch an hour long video. But then the next minute you're sharing like a 10 to 20 minute video on your journey or what it is that you're doing, like a random marketing video, or, a video like this where I'm just kind of talking you through stuff. And that's great. I'm going to continue to do that on this channel. But for the purposes of me building like a super hyper focused YouTube channel and business, it's not necessarily ideal to do it this way. In the old days, you could just be like, just throw everything at the wall and YouTube's going to kind of help you match, the audiences. But I learned that that's not necessarily the way to go anymore. And that you need to be kind of, very thoughtful about the audience that you're reaching and be very specific to their problems, to their, to the things that you want to help them with. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to build out a completely new channel. Again, I'm not going to get rid of this one. In fact, I'm probably going to share some of what I learned about starting a new channel from scratch. And I'm also going to be starting like a newsletter from scratch so that it's all congruent and that it all aligns together. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's like kind of the first lesson is just, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, I don't want to prevent you from getting started. I mean, you just want to get started, right? I wouldn't have learned this lesson if I hadn't been publishing all the stuff that I've been doing for the last 2 months. So just don't let that stop you. Just start doing it. But I'm just telling you right now, really have an idea of, or at least a ballpark of who you want to talk to, and then get very specific about what you're talking to them about, and try to keep your content consistent. so again, having 1 hour videos and then all of a sudden a 10-minute video talking about slightly different topics is kind of not necessarily the perfect way. So again, I'm going to keep this channel, we're going to keep it rolling. It's not going anywhere because, well, I love talking to a couple of you guys already. So yeah. So anyway, the second lesson that I want to share with you is how important it is to build in public. So this post right here, this LinkedIn post, this was just me randomly last week, I think it was Friday. Was that 4 days ago? Friday. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to think out loud. It's like, man, I've been kind of shooting myself in the foot. I'm thinking out loud, and I kind of just described, the issue or the lesson that I learned that I just told you about. And I put it out there, right? With a smiley face. And, side tip. Anytime you put your face or a personal picture, they just seem to do much better. So little side tip if you're doing anything on LinkedIn. And you can see this is a pretty good, a lot of good engagement on this one too. I mean, I don't have a huge following over on LinkedIn, but they were all really active. 12 comments. I mean, out of 8 comments, I mean, that's pretty good. So the reason why it was super important for me to share this and to build in public is that I ended up generating a ton of feedback from a bunch of different people on here. You could see, you might recognize some of these people. Mark, he was on an earlier podcast. Elizabeth was on an earlier podcast. Patrick, I've been talking to him for months. He's kind of going through what a lot of us are going through. Like he's got a full-time job. He's just trying to feel his way through this online stuff. So he's doing good. Tama, she mentioned something on here, but the one that really kind of drives home the importance of building in public is Sue Keenan. Now, she just jumped in here and she just started, she basically confirmed what I was talking about, that I was shooting myself in the foot, but then she like went into way more depth. I'm not going to read through this whole thing. If you want, just go to my profile and you can kind of look down here and read through this yourself. But she had some very important information that I might not have had if I didn't just put it out there. And she knows what she's talking about. Because just looking at her credentials, right? She's a TV journalist. She's a media strategist, content strategist, and she's kind of hanging in some pretty, elite circles. So I'm going to take her word for it. Not only that, I talked to her kind of in the DMs, and she knows what she's talking about. So I'm going to just trust that that her advice is like something I should heed, and I am heeding it. So thank you, Sue, if you're watching this. It was super helpful. But again, this is why you want to put stuff out there, because you want people to see what you're doing. You're going to get feedback. Sometimes you might get some negative stuff too. I've already had a couple of YouTube comments that are pretty, pretty sketchy, but hey, whatever. It's the way it goes. But she helped me big time. And again, not only in public here, but also in the messages. I mean, she just really gave me some really good advice. And that would have never happened if I was just keeping all this to myself, right? So that's why I'm putting stuff on LinkedIn. That's why I'm shooting a video like this right now, is to build in public. So whatever it is that you're going to do, just start talking about it out loud, let people see what you're doing, get out there, talk to people, and share that stuff. And one last thing that I'm gonna give to you, this kind of a bonus tip here. So like when I was talking with Sue, I was like, in the DMs, I'm like, hey Sue, who should I talk to that is, or who should I be following that is kind of on the cutting edge of like how you should build a YouTube channel and how you should build a personal brand? And the name that she gave to me was this guy right here, Caleb Ralston. And I've been watching him for the last, over the weekend, I've been watching his videos, and she's right. This guy is on top of it. I mean, he's like cutting edge, and he has worked for, I don't know if you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is. I mean, he's like a legend. He's like maybe one of the original YouTubers. And I won't go into his story, but look him up, Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V as he's called. This guy right here worked on his team, and he worked, working for Gary Vaynerchuk means that you get to work with like some of the top influencers, top brands, top athletes, whatever. So he's been there, done that as far as building a personal brand, and his information is freaking spot on. So I'm going to share some of the stuff that I learned on my own. But if you want to, not sit around and wait for me to share anything with you, I would definitely go check out this dude, because he is, he's got very, very interesting perspective. And he doesn't have a lot of YouTube videos on here. Like he's only got, these 6 videos, but if you watch his stuff, you'll know why. It's super hyper focused. He puts a lot of thought into it. And I don't know, I'll let him tell you. But anyway, I just wanted to jump on and let you know kind of what I've been doing here. And hopefully that is going to, give you some food for thought, like for whatever you're doing, because I just thought this was like an important lesson. If you disagree, shoot me a comment below. Tell me that I'm totally missing the point. But, if you learn something, let me know that too, because I just want to help out. So with that said, last things I'll leave you with, always check the comments, because I have stuff for you. I think this one, I've been talking about my trying to promote my newsletter fast track guide. So I'm going to have a link to that below because that's going to help you build out an asset, right? A newsletter, an email list, a customer database. I mean, those are like super important for any kind of a business that you're building out. So check that out. And if you want me to kind of jump on and kind of brainstorm some stuff with you as far as like what kind of a business or what kind of a YouTube channel or whatever it is, I'm also going to have a link for that down below too. So anyway, thanks for watching. Totally appreciate anytime you spend any, 1 second with me, because I know there's a lot of other people that you could be watching out there. So thank you very much for that. And I'm going to leave you with the next video that you should watch. I haven't decided if I'm going to put them down here yet every time or if I'm going to put them up there. So it's going to be there somewhere. Anyway, click on one of those and continue to watch because, well, I'm just trying to help out. There you go. Click later.